Central's Elliotte Friedman. A busy night already, Elliotte. Let's start with the latest news. The Leafs acquiring goaltender David Rittich. Why did they make this move, and is there real concern over Frederik Andersen's injury, do you think?
Well, there obviously is, Martine. You know, one of the things the Maple Leafs were telling teams is that they weren't going to go out and add a goaltender unless they really felt they had to do it. And now we've seen that they really feel obviously they have to do it. Andersen's injury and his situation has been shrouded in mystery. We know he's on long-term injured reserve, but it's not necessarily a huge concern that he was put there because he could be removed. It could be removed pretty quickly. However, now that they've acquired another goaltender, we're all going to be wondering what exactly this means for Andersen's future. This is a go all-in year. If you take a look at how the draft picks stack up for the Maple Leafs now, this season and next season, they are cutting them down. They're using them as ability to make trades. The Maple Leafs are all in. If you look at what they've done this weekend, they've made 3 trades now, and they haven't taken anybody off their roster. They're all in to win, and every move they do says that.
Let's talk about one of those other big moves, their move to bring in former Blue Jackets captain Nick Foligno. Do you like this move, and what does he bring to the Maple Leafs?
Yes, I like the move because, again, it doesn't take anybody off their roster. It only makes them stronger. I think the Maple Leafs, look, they know they're going to go as far as their best players take them. The Matthews, the Marners, the Tavares, the Nylanders, the Muzzins, the Rileys, the Brodys, whoever you want to name, their best players have got to be their best players. But in the postseason, where you have to battle for every inch of ice that you have to get, you're going to need more and more players. They're going to have to drive you through there. And I think that he's one of those guys that's going to help them through it. I think they've been looking for someone with a little bit of an edge who can play with good players. Nick Foligno is a guy who has some edge, and he can play with good players. So I'm not surprised he was one of their targets. I didn't know if they would get him. I think there were a few teams in there, but Martine, they've made their team better this weekend without subtracting anyone off their roster. And I think at the end of the day, that's what Toronto wanted to do.
So are they done, or do you think the Leafs are going to make some more moves before the deadline arrives?
I don't necessarily think they're done, Martine. You know, they only had to pick up a quarter of Foligno's salary. They only picked up 50% of Rittich's salary. There still is flexibility for them to do more things if they want to. And like I said, this is an all-in year for them. And I think if they get more things that they're convinced is going to make them better, I have no doubt they're going to try.
Let's go back to the Flames trading away David Rittich. Does that say to you that they're throwing in the towel?
I don't know if it's throwing in the towel as much as I think, he wasn't, he wasn't in a situation, I think in Calgary where he was going to play a ton. Calgary's going to try to get back into this. The math is not their friend, but it's going to be mostly Jacob Markstrom. There's no question about that. Rittich is a UFA. I don't think they were planning on keeping him. So you go and you get whatever asset you can get. And a 3rd-round pick is a pretty good asset for your backup goaltender. So I don't think it's necessarily a signifying that the Flames are giving up on what is long hope. I think what they're doing is they recognized he was a UFA, and you get the best asset you can. And they did pretty well. You won't see a lot of backup goaltenders going for picks that high.
Finally, as we speak, Taylor Hall is still a Buffalo Sabre. How close is he to getting traded, and what type of return should the Sabres expect to get for him?
Martine, I think it's pretty close. I do think we're in a situation where it could happen tonight. It's late. I'm not expecting to go to bed too soon. So, I'm going to keep watching for it. It's one of those things the Sabres have been grinding away on it all day. They've been trying to evolve a 3rd team to make the deal better in their favor, like we've seen in a couple of other trades so far, like the Foligno trade and the Savard trade. I think it's been a long day for the Sabres. I think there's teams in it like Boston, St. Louis. I think Vegas has tried to see if there's a way that they could make it work. I think there's a few teams hovering around this, and we'll see where it ends up. But I do think the Sabres are working hard at it as we speak.
We say as we speak. Do you want to check your phone? Because I've been hearing it dinging quite a bit there.
It's not, believe me, I'm looking right at it. If it was a message that I needed to get right now, I would be off this Zoom call. That's right. No offense to you and Eric.
None
but the
taken.
phone is more important.
None
yes.
taken. I guess for the next few hours, it is indeed. Elliotte, thanks for your time, and maybe some sleep tonight.